Oh wait, don't worry. Hello. Welcome to the accountability call. This is number 93.
Whoa.
93. Okay. Now I know because we have expanded our network, we've stretched our arms out wide to some additional places. Some people have not even been to accountability call number one, right? They may not have seen this before. But this is the space where me and my closest friends, my business besties, my accountability partners, just all the things. The women who drag me to my greatness, and we drag each other to our greatness. This is where we convene once a week to hold each other accountable to the things that we want to do, have to do, must do, would love to do, all the things. We envision doing all the things. So we welcome y'all. Okay, it's
Welcome to the
2026.
party.
Welcome to the party. So Sinatra, how are we doing?
I'm doing well. I'm really excited about 2026. I feel like 2025 ended on a high note. So it's not that 2026 has to be drastically different, but it's just going to be even better. Excited to go on this journey with, as you call it, my business besties. So I'm feeling real good today.
Good. Yes. Eve, how you do? Oh, we like to say Eva San Diego.
I am feeling blessed. 2025 for the most part can repeat itself, and I think that is a flex for me to be able to say that. Um, but and I'm feeling good. I'm currently at my grandma's house, so feeling amazing. Just spent time with my sister, long lost sister, actually. So beautiful things are in the works, and yeah, I'm excited. I'm ready for 2026. I don't know if 2026 ready for me though.
You better get ready because we're here. Okay. So the way we usually kick this off is with what we have learned. Now, last week, revelations you had, self revelations, something you heard and set in your spirit. What are the things? What's something you learned last week in business, life, for Z and myself, parenting,
Okay, so I have
that you
I
think
have
would
two
be helpful?
quotes. I have two quotes that showed up. Actually, they both showed up this morning. The first one is ideas are easy, execution is hard, consistency is the hardest.
Ooh,
Now, baby, when I tell you this
amen.
this right here just jumped right up on me. And the second thing was when words of affirmation don't work, the actions have to. So this is going to be the year of action. We have spent, I mean, what are we? This is year 3 of accountability call.
Which
I
is
think,
what? Let's get three.
which
Jesus
is
Christ.
crazy, right? I mean, yeah, and we skipped a couple weeks. So if this is called 93, then we're,
Yes.
we're definitely at least 3 years in. But I think we all have some really, really big goals that we're trying to go after. The ideas are amazing, and I think at times we struggle with the execution. Like we do it, but not as consistently as we want to. So we got to take the bold actions and do it consistently. So I feel like those two quotes really just stuck with me, and I feel like it's a great way to kick off things for 2026.
Yeah, I like that. That's good. That's real good. If you're joining us, drop a hey girl, hey in the chat or comment or whatever, did live, whatever platform you want. Um, that's good because I feel like it aligns with the two things that I've learned because we're gonna talk about it later. But my word for the year is what is centering everything around 2026. So one of the things that I took away yesterday, I was watching a podcast with Tony Robbins, and I always forget this guy's name. The Indian guy who got the light eyes. I can't remember.
I think you're talking
Anywho,
about Jay Shetty.
Jay Shetty, yes, Jay Shetty. It's Jay said it's his podcast, okay. But Tony Robbins was on there, and he said, and I was like, "Oh, this is a good punch." He said, "Smart people are usually the worst in business because they always got to know everything to take action."
Listen, and that's why
I
execution is
said,
hard. My God.
My God.
Tony, are you talking about me? Or are you talking about me? Like, so I was like, dang. And the funny thing is, I've been talking to Z about how, you know, me, my whole identity as a child was smart, right? Just all the way through, just smart, academically gifted, specifically. Now, what that means is I need the right answer. Okay. I'm gonna need the right answer, baby. I'm looking for the right answer. And in entrepreneurship, ain't no right answer. And that has been my biggest struggle. It's just like, there is no right answer, boo. Go do the things and figure out what the right answer is based on your actions, as Z was saying. Right. So I was like, dang, Tony, you came for me. I understand. But that I released that. I have released that already. The other thing I saw in a reel on IG was, he said, you need to either increase your discipline or lower your desires. Okay.
Why
And I was
so strong?
again, are you talking about me or are you talking about me? Like,
Mm.
okay. So, yeah. And I was like, well, listen, unfortunately, ain't no way to decrease these desires. Like, they've been up since forever. I cannot. So clearly I'm just going to lean into increase my discipline because I cannot lower my desires. So I just think in general, those two things really hit home for me. Like, you know, these are some things that you're going to have to grab onto, and these are some things that you really are going to have to release because it's a part of the previous identity that you are letting go of. Eve,
Y'all starting off real strong. This is crazy. I think the thing that's showing up for me is I've mentioned this before. The same things keep showing up in my life, and I'm trying to tell myself it's happening because there's still deep work that I need in it. And one of them is like, remember, I would say, or like would be talk about, like, you know, if you want a blessing, make sure you're ready to receive your blessing. And I think that's happened very beautifully already so far in this year. Is that, like, to what Nezzy says, like, I do have really big desires, and my discipline has been relatively okay. You know, it could definitely get better. You know, growth always, but I think there was like a beautiful conversation that was had in regards to like a partnership between IDTT, and it was my reputation that allowed for it to come to place, come to be. Like, how this person found out about who I am and like what I do, and figuring out that we were like in the same circles and knew the same people, like, was just like crazy. In the Caribbean and here in the US was just like, wow, it was very serendipitous. So I think and I think that is allowing for potentially a very beautiful partnership between IDTT and that particular organization to come to be. So I'm just always in a place of someone who, when growing up, was told that I was a lot of things, too friendly, too big, want to do too much, blah 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 blah. I'm just like,
oh,
because listen, baby, watch me work. Okay, everything that people shut down is exactly what's like continuously just propelling me into beautiful relationships and partnerships and stories. And I think that's a beautiful thing for me to remember and remind my younger self, to keep coaching my younger self, that you are just fine exactly the way you are. And continue to keep living this dream of, like, I'm very happy with what I do, but I also want to sustain my life just because of who I am. And I just keep seeing that happen more and more and more and more and more. So that's something that I realize I'm continuously learning over and over again.
That is so good. And I also felt a bit convicted because being the mother of 2 daughters, one of which is giving Eve all the way, baby. And she is reminder to allow her to be herself and help her to guide the energy, not suppress the energy. Okay. Oh, so there's that part. So I want to use this time. So we usually do this very differently, but because we are across more platforms now. I want to use this time to talk about like what it is we actually do, because this is basically our business accountability group. This is our business mastermind. Like, and by the way, this does not just happen on this call. We got a whole group chat in the WhatsApp that stays lit, okay, stays active, which I think is important in general, right? For me as a person, one of the key pieces of my personal success formula is accountability, right? Being with level 5 energy women, people who are purpose-led is very important, right? Who are optimistic, very important. So I surround myself in that so that I can exist as my best self. And honey, the Lord has looked out for me, because these sisters in the chat, oh, be dragging me to the greatness, and we be dragging each other. So I want to use this time to kind of talk about like what we do, and how we do, and just who we are, right? Like, so I want to start because, so my name is Inez. I am online as International Inez across the board, because I'm a bit of a travel connoisseur. Okay. I travel to a lot of countries. I specifically love traveling to Black countries. And I am the CEO of a company called It's Deeper Than Travel, right? And It's Deeper Than Travel is a company that is centered around taking Black people to Black countries for belonging, for connection, for immersion, so that we can change the narratives that we as Black people abroad, internationally have about each other. And so that we get our first-hand perspective, right, on who we are, as opposed to being told who we are by people who were not from these places, right, and do not understand us. So I started Deeper Than Travel in 2011. We do group trips, right? We've been to places like DR, we've been to Ghana, we've been to Belize, like, I've done South Africa. Like, so this is one of my biggest passions. But I also just like helping people connect and transform their lives through travel, whatever that looks like, right, in general. So I do that through digital products. I do that through, conversations like this. If you go to my YouTube channel, I do that for moms, right, who need to be able to take a kid-free vacation. These are the things that I do. And, over the past year or two, I have been focused on specifically learning digital marketing, right? And just how do you make a income online, right? How do you use digital income to allow you to make money while you're living your life, right? Because I have a lot of life to live. Like, I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a friend, I'm a daughter, I'm trying to move abroad, all the things. So that is who I am. And I'm going to pass the baton to whomever wants to go next.
I'll go. Hi, everybody. My name is Eve. I have a business called Eva Strategy. I am a senior, principal design researcher and strategist. In that work, I lead how governments adopt and adapt tech for people and systems in need of clarity and care. So I work in the Fed health space currently right now, doing research and leading strategy there, which is very amazing. And when you get to know me, you'll know why exactly I stay and do work in those industries. I've been a researcher or a medical anthropologist for a very long time. But at night, that's what I do during the day as Clark Kent, as Superwoman at night. I grow a travel movement that helps the Afro diaspora reconnect, connect, imagine, reimagine what's possible as the head of strategy and partnerships at It's Deeper Than Travel. But always a joy cultivator, systems thinker, professional troublemaker. Yeah. You might hear me talk about properties and stuff because I do real estate as well, because trying to live our best lives.
What? On a yacht.
Hey, come on. That's my cue. On a yacht. That's my cue. We're trying to do everything but do it on a yacht. So I am Zenitra, Coach Zenitra, just Zenitra on all platforms. And I am an executive coach and a business consultant, and I help people do the things that they keep talking themselves out of doing.
Come on.
My work lies at the intersection of mindset and strategy. So whether I'm working with individual coaching clients and helping them to have difficult conversations, I'm helping them to take imperfect actions and move away from perfectionism. I'm helping them to move to the next level that they're capable of doing, but for some reason they just, haven't quite been ready to be bold enough to take that next step. So I am definitely the coach that's going to put that battery in your back and hold your hand while you take that next step. Okay. And then on the corporate side, I do all things leadership development. I am DISC certified, Myers-Briggs certified, and I have my own framework called Positive Overthinking that I incorporate into all of those. That really helps you find unlimited possibilities and really helps you to understand the ways in which you are limiting yourself, and gets you to move beyond that. So I also do branding and marketing. So I run, I do social media marketing for some nonprofits and help them to establish and maintain a brand on these social platforms. But I am the coach, so I'm always going to be here to help you bring forth your best self, your highest self. My gift is in hearing the truth. You can say a whole lot of stuff, but baby, I'm gonna hear that truth and I'm going to hold you to it. I'm going to bring it back to the front and make sure that you are able to live in your own truth. So excited to be here. We have a lot of things that we are going to accomplish this year. So I am just excited to get started and to, have you guys along for the ride.
Yes. Listen, we love it. We love it. Clock the T. Yes, yes. Okay. So I want to talk about our vision for the year, right? Now, this could be your actual vision. This could be something that is guiding your vision, like maybe your word for the year, maybe your energy of the year, whatever it is, a huge goal that's driving your year. Because we are at January 12th, and how? Because it was just New Year's. And usually this time of year is when people are setting their vision, right? So there's our vision that we have, and then there's the visions that we can help people achieve, right? And so I want to be able to kind of talk about both, a little bit about both from our perspective. But I want to start with like, this is our vision, like this is my vision, or this is my word for year, or whatever. And then talk about like what it is, what are the visions that, or what is one vision that one or two that we can help people achieve, right, this year. So exactly. So I'm going to start with Zanitra. What do you want to share for 2026?
Well, my word for 2026 is audacity. As I mentioned earlier, this year is all going to be about momentum. It's going to be about action, and more importantly, bold actions. And so I am the queen of ideas. I can come up with an idea for, how to launch a new product. I come up with an idea for how to expand my brand. And I do the same thing for my clients and my friends. But I'm trying to move into action on as many of those ideas as possible, because I know they're all dope ass ideas. And the only thing that's preventing them from coming to light is, being scared of being critiqued, being scared of the exposure of it being imperfect. And that is how perfectionism shows up for me and for many of my clients as well. So this year, what I'm doing for myself, and then what I'm also doing for my clients, both on the individual side and the corporate side, is moving them into those bold actions. We're going to be strategic. We're going to be thoughtful, but we're going to do some stuff. We're going to make some mistakes along the way. And not only is it okay, I welcome the mistakes. I welcome the exposure. I welcome getting it wrong, because those people who are in the ring fighting are always going to be the ones to help you move forward. And while those people on the outside critiquing, they ain't doing nothing but out there chitter chatting. And we don't have time to listen to the chitter chatter. We are here to take action, to move forward, and to move on that momentum. So I envision something for my team. I plan on having 3 new team members this year. At least one of them has to be full-time. because we're going to be servicing so many people that I'm going to need that help, right? I'm past the point where I can do it myself. And my goal is to really help my clients, again, as I mentioned before, kind of take the action that they have been wanting to take, but, have been hesitant in doing. So anyone who's like, oh, I have this idea, but I'm not sure where to start, I'm your girl, hit me up. And, depending on how fast you want to run, there's a package waiting for you, baby, because we're going to get some stuff done.
I love that. Like, depending on how fast you want to run, there's a package for you, baby. Like, listen, Zanitra has been my friend for 30 plus years. And when I tell you this is who she is and this is what she does, okay? I've always said she is the one who's going to put the battery in my back. This is the thing. To do the things that I want to do, but I may not be doing because I feel like I'm worried about what people gonna think.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay. Because the things may be in alignment, whether it's something a long-term thing or just something I want to try. Right? Mm-hmm. Like, it don't matter. If I want to do it and it feels aligned to me, she is great at helping you to remove your own self-judgment or your own fear about what other people are saying or thinking or doing, right? Or your own limiting beliefs. And so you can just do the thing, okay? Because we're just trying to do the things, right? Like, and when I tell you, that has been very helpful for me for decades, baby.
So now you too can get the benefit.
And now you too can get the benefits of my
experience, of her friend.
Yes, of my best friend. So and speaking of, just doing the things that are in alignment with you that you want to do, but you may be holding off from doing. My word for the year is release. And it's centered around letting go of the things that are holding you back from being your most authentic self, right? From being the best version of yourself, from being who and what is true for you right now, right? Because who you are may not be who you were. What you wanted then may not be what you want now, right? And we talk a lot on this call about capability versus capacity. Mm-hmm. What you have capacity for now may not look like what you had capacity for then, right? And it's not tied to what you're capable of, because if you don't have the capacity to do it, you will be inconsistent. You won't be disciplined. You will hesitate. You will be in doubt. You will all of the things. So I am centering my whole year around release, and it's really in every area of my life, right? But one of the biggest things that I'm focusing on is releasing hesitation, releasing any self-doubt, and releasing perfectionism, because those are some of the biggest blockers. Like, those are the boulders, right? The rest of the things are like kind of around, like, for me, I have been in full-time business for almost 3 years, right? And so I'm in a space where I am fully releasing the identity of a 9-to-5er, right? Releasing the identity of an employee, right? I had a conversation with my husband the last couple of days saying, at this point, it's not a matter of if this works. It does work, right? I've seen it work. It's currently working, right? It's just a matter of turning up the faucet, right? Setting up the systems that let me turn up the faucet on this joint, because it's not a matter of should I go back to work anymore. It's a matter of, like, turn this up because this is it. So it's crazy. It's crazy to think, but I have released the idea that somebody else can save me, right? I've released the idea that a job can save me, that, a 9-to-5 can save me. I've released that idea, which is crazy. It was just crazy, but it is, like, it just is. And so one of the things that I am focused on this year is really doing the things that my intuition tells me to do, which I'm a heady person, baby. I think, right? And that is actually one of my gifts is that I go deep. We talk about this all the time. You know how like I'm the person who, when you see somebody who's selling something and you like, well, how they do it? I'm the person who'll scroll all the way to the bottom of their Instagram page from when they started it 3 years ago. And I'm gonna find out, right? Okay. I'm gonna go video to video. That's the level of research that I do. But what I'm also allowing in this stage of my life is allowing my intuition to lead me, to not be the smart person who needs to know all the details, to be the person who can feel something and know that my intuition is aligned and true and move, right? And so that is what I'm doing with my clients, with my business, with everything this year, right? Like I am making changes into my revenue model for It's Deeper Than Travel to be in better alignment with where I am in this phase of my life, what I want to do, the capacity I have, right? I'm really focused on building digital income because in 2026, this is the way that you make money while you're out living your life. This is the way that you make money while you're raising kids. This is the way that you make money while you're traveling the world. This is the way. Like you have to know how to be able to market and sell yourself, right? The things you already know, right? And it's not even about you knowing more. It's about how are you leveraging what you already know, the experiences you already have. And so that's what I'm doing. Like I'm leveraging the experiences I already have, the knowledge I already have. Like I have done so many things, right? And just being able to leverage those and help other people leverage them to be able to kind of take control of your life, to make room, to allow your income and the way you make money to make room for your life, right? As opposed to the other way around. So that's what I'm focused on this year. It's funny because I was just talking to Kiki, which is what I call ChatGPT. We got Kiki and Claudette. Okay. That's ChatGPT and Claude. About my human design and my numerology and how it's important that you drive what you do, the opportunities you take, the way you speak to people, the way you market, the way you sell, the way you run a business, what type of business you have, the systems you use, all of that is centered around who you are, right? And a lot of times we want people centered around what somebody else said it should be. So I am in the full space of release this year, of releasing all of those things, like just not worried about what somebody said it's supposed to be, right? But really focusing on what is best for me and speaking from my essence, driving from my essence, living from my essence, running my business from my essence, which has been just an eye opener. So you'll see me online talking about release because I'm releasing stuff every day, and it's the hardest thing to do. And you'll also see me online talking about, digital products, digital marketing, traveling the world, as well as just focusing on the long-term goal of having location freedom, having financial freedom, and having time freedom. Because, I feel like that's the triple threat.
I love that you brought up identity, because I had a identity issue this morning. I'm constantly trying to purge my house. Now, I lived in Brooklyn for 15 years, so there's very much that Brooklyn identity that still lives within me, and even in ways that it shouldn't. For example, I was in my laundry room this morning, and I saw a stack of 3 laundry bags. Now, what you may not know is living in Brooklyn for 15 years, there was no laundry in my apartment. And I took my clothes to the laundromat one time and I said, never again will I be walking, carrying this heavy bag and spending all day at the laundromat. So I was the queen of drop-off service, okay? Especially once I found a service that would pick up and drop off. Now, what's essential to that is having a laundry bag for all of your things, your dirty clothes to go in. You take it, drop it off, they wash, fold, and bring it back all nice and neat in that bag. And so you, of course, accumulate a few bags. I have 3 laundry bags in my laundry room. Why do I need a laundry bag? I'm not dropping off nothing that nobody serviced because I have a washer and a dryer. And so just realizing how I looked at it initially and was like, oh, I don't know, I'm just going to keep it. And I was like, girl, why? That is no longer your identity. You no longer are a drop-off service girl because you were sitting here looking at your washer and dryer. And so it's crazy how those little things impacts how your daily habits, the things that you keep, the things that you hold on to. And those are the things that are delaying you from this new identity, this new lifestyle that you want to live. So being mindful of your identity and what you're holding on to versus what you need to release is really going to be key. So I'm excited.
Eve.
Suddenly. The word of the year is suddenly. We had a good sprint with that word, that way of being, that behavior, that mode of thinking, that belief, that action, that conviction. Suddenly. I also would say something around like, it only takes 90 days to kind of, any decision that you make can change the trajectory of your life, which still leads to the comment of like you're always one decision away from changing the trajectory of your life. So decide. And mine is suddenly, because I know, especially through last year, one of the biggest themes that we were sitting with, and my word last year was overflow, but it wasn't overflow in a sense of what I thought it would be. It ended up being overflow in a sense of like more healing, more time to self, more ability to like travel. Like it was like overflow in like the how can I say, like the soft skills in a sense of life, instead of like all the hard tangible financial things. But that is coming too. But I think all of that was needed in order for me to be in this space now, where like I just keep feeling that like all of us on the precipice of literally changing the directory of our lives. Like we're doing it right now, and we're just getting ready to receive the fruit of our labor. Like I just believe that so much. So I'm ready to just continue to be unrecognizable to myself again this year in all of the best ways, and continue making my community and myself proud for this short but long time we have to live and do it. So yeah, I'm all about suddenly. I still feel so good about the word. It gives me chills.
Listen, I love that too, because we have seen suddenly show up and through this group chat. Okay.
Yes.
Like what? Just you feel as though something is going to take a long time, or that there's the idea, the limiting belief that something takes a long time. Like this has to take this amount of time. Or like in order for me to be able to achieve this thing, it's going to take all of these steps. And then suddenly it just boom happens, and you like, and you realize that in some way you were holding it back, because when it arrives, you're not even really ready. You like, oh, whoa. Now you scrambling, like, let me put things. But if you were in the energy of knowing that it is showing up tomorrow, it could show up tomorrow, you would be putting the things together for it to show up tomorrow, right? So I receive and am in alignment and touching and agreeing on suddenly in 2026. Okay. All right. So I feel like we should just try to do maybe a word for this week. We ain't got to go into the details of this week. We'll come back next week. Usually we do 5 to 7 goals for the week. We make sure at least 1 or 2 of them are self-care goals, because you must take care of yourself in order to reach your goals. And we also include life and business on our goals, not just business, because we do have life stuff to do. And then we usually wrap it up with a word for the week that is something that is going to be kind of like our North Star, the thing we can stand firmly on for the week in order to achieve those goals. So for today, we just gonna do the word for the week. Okay. And if you don't know what all your goals are, which I'm speaking to myself, for the week, just maybe think about an energy. Energy that's gonna let you figure out what the word for the week is. Yes.
My word of the week is together. I feel like a lot of times I try to get stuff done alone and I slow my own self up. So any moment that I'm feeling a little sluggish, I'm gonna have to tag a partner in. And I do have a list of folks, that want to see me succeed and will be accountability partners and can hold my hand through it. So the word of the week is together.
Mm. Eve. I'm just responding to Rob. Rob, this is our business bestie accountability call. If this is your first time joining us, I know this is our first time streaming to Facebook. Okay, hey Facebook, hey. YouTube, if you go to the International Inez YouTube channel, you'll see we have episode after episode after episode of this under the lives. So we are on accountability call 93, but this is the first time that we've opened this up to our Facebook family and friends. And that's because we feel like, these are the people who need it as well, right? Like, it's important. And, there's dreams, there's goals, there's things that we're all achieving in life. So we are just sharing our journey, our thoughts, our goals, and as we get to these dreams.
Yeah. Okay, my word of the week. I was about to pick something that was kind of like push through, get through, go Eve, finish it all. I got 50,100 things to do. But I need to not be in that space. So the word that ended up coming up was pace. Like, remember, change pace, don't change purpose. So I'm gonna choose my word of the week for pacing myself, because I already have my to-do list in my head, inclusive of the fact that it's tax season now across the businesses. It's tax season, so we get the taxes done and finish up some work for a client, finalize IDTT B2B strategy, all those things. So there's a lot to do for sure. But I'm gonna choose the word pace myself, change pace, not purpose.
Just write these down so I remember the words for the week. My word for the week is forward.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'm a believer in the Lord, and my church is Transformation Church, which is actually in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Pastor Mike Todd, I watch it online. And forward is the word for the year. And one of the things that he talked about is how in this year we are not looking back, right? And using what has been in the past to influence what is possible or what is happening in the future. He was literally like, forget the past. Forget. Right? And allow yourself to focus on forward. Right? Moving forward. And I think that aligns very much with my word for the year of release. Because a lot of times, like, the last 3 years have not been easy. They have been difficult in many different ways. And so a lot of times, especially for me, the burdens of the past show up in the present and influence my decision making for the forward. Right? And so what I am leaning into this week is move forward. Right? Keep your eyes forward. Know what the vision is. Know what you've learned. Right? Know what you've learned. But don't worry about what happened. Right? Take what you learned, the things that help you to make decisions, but don't worry about what happened. Right? What didn't happen, what happened. So that is my word for the week. All right, y'all. That's it for accountability call number 93. Thank you for joining us. Let us know what your biggest takeaway was. Let us know your word for the year, your biggest goal for the year. You want to drop some goals into the chat. We can help to hold you accountable to them. All the things. And we will see y'all next Monday. Bye.
Bye.